Today we're going to check out the Gojira Tube Screamer 808 pedal.
Oh, hello, American investor. I see you are interested in distributing Mr. Sparkle in your home prefecture. You have chosen wisely.
Now before I get into the pedal, I'm going to get into a little bit about what an 808 is. An Overdrive 808 is maybe the most copied, cloned, and used guitar pedal of all time. It was originally made for Ibanez in the 1970s, the original Tube Screamer 808, the TS-808, but the company that made the chip for them in Japan also went under the name Maxon and made different pedals themselves. So they took the chip that they had made for Ibanez and put out their own Maxon OD-808. And both companies still put out these pedals in different variations today. Now this pedal gets a nice blues rock kind of tube breakup overdrive sound, which is why it's called an overdrive. This also had a nice mid boost that was very popular with rock players and blues players alike. Guys like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, Gary Moore, all of them and more use this pedal. But it has another function. In the 1980s, when high gain really started to become a big thing, thrash metal, death metal, black metal, especially thrash metal though, these were used in a different way, and they're going to be used in the way I'm going to use them now. And they're still used this way now, where you have the volume somewhere between 70 to 100%, the gain is completely off, no dirt, and the tone is just over halfway to give a nice upper mid boost. What this did is allowed you to go harder into the front of the amp, create more natural compression, clean up that low end mud and kind of rumble that you get from a lot of high gain tube amps, and get a nice upper mid cut for a nice sharp sound that everyone needs in metal. This was basically how every thrash metal band did it in the 80s with the JCM 800 and 808 in front of it. This is how everyone still does it, and they even do it in digital version if you're one of the gent kids. The Axe FX, Kemper, Helix, Bias, and every single plugin online has a virtual version of an 808. There are countless plugin versions of an 808, all to get this signature sound. Let's get into the tones. Now, Gojira Effects also threw in a Meat Boy fuzz for me, specifically the light Meat Boy fuzz, which they tell me is the version that has a little bit more high-end and treble to it. Now, they did this so I could boost that with the overdrive. When you boost a fuzz with an overdrive, it does the exact same thing that it does in front of an amp. It kind of cleans up that mud and huge boomy low end you get from a super saturated fuzz, adds some extra mid definition so you actually cut through the mix better, and add some overall saturation to it. So what I'm going to do is play a short little thing. I wrote kind of a doom metal thing. Doom! Which, doom, sludge, stoner metal, all known for using fuzzes and overdrives in front of them, and the cranked amps to get that doom tone. So we're going to have this doom piece, and I'm going to switch on the overdrive and then off a little bit, just like I did in the last one, so you can hear what the pedal is doing in front of the fuzz. All in all, these pedals are pretty solid. It's a good 808 clone. I've used a ton of different 808s, and it sounds just like an 808. It sounds real old school. You can get great blues rock tones out of it, and it boosts a metal amp really nicely. As a diode switch, I prefer to keep it up because that has a little bit more warmth on the low end. When you flip it down, it gets a little bit more compressed, sounds a little bit more sterile. That's going to be good for some uses, but not personally what I like. The Meat Boy is cool. It's a one knob fuzz, which I think is awesome. It's just more. And even though I'm not a fuzz guy, it's a pretty cool little fuzz. They're really affordable pedals. The Meat Boys are usually thrown in for free or in some sort of bundle deal. Right now, I know that these 808s are on sale for like $65 US, but that price jumps around for all the different sales and bundle deals they're always doing. You can, for free, get these customized. Like I have this awesome pink sparkle drive here with Homer's face on it. The reason that it's free to do that is it's not actually printed on the casing. It is just a decal that they print out and put on there for you. But you can even customize and get your own images put on there for free, which is pretty cool. All in all, they're a pretty solid company. I would check them out. I'm actually rather impressed with both pedals. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay metal.